Oh, happy Friday. Oh, no, it's Saturday now. Friday's officially over. It's 129. Well, like somebody wrote something about what is Trump, like plan, like why would them and the Republicans do it? Well, the number one reason is money. And the number one reason for Putin is there's oil here, uh, that they have been, uh, hacking for quite a while and into different cons, sort of like the con that Trump had with the schools. Um, he has money vested in the stock market and the private prison, and it looks like they already opened up one of the private prisons to hold the Mexicans to deport them, or so like that's sort of a their way to have a concentration camp. They also want to separate the mothers from the children. They think that's a good idea. They think that's a deterrent, sort of like how jail has been a deterrent for crime. It's worked ever since Jesus Christ. What are they? His Protest, Paul, Matthew, and John. Whatever. So, so we already know that the system, how it works, and what to expect, and that putting somebody in jail to stop somebody else from doing the crime, it doesn't work. You know, that's why we have overcrowded jails now because of that type of thinking. It's not dealing in reality. Also, to devastate the United States, to totally destroy it. I think that's the Russians' idea. You can see what Russia has done to their own people. Their own people are suffering. Uh, uh, um, uh, uh, they're they're willing to be like Ivanka and just go into prostitution. And look, she did quite well, right? They come to the United States, marry American, and they do quite better than they do in Russia. So, and I think the number one thing they really would like with that type of narcissistic, because like they always like tear up stuff, break up, and I have a lot of experience here, with that type of thinking, when it comes to racist people, because Memphis is very racist. And and it's very hard not to see how damaged the people are. Just, just sit and talk to them for 15 minutes and you'll see. So their ideas well, what I was going to allude to was that the people that probably voted for him the most are the ones that they're going to probably uh, do the most harm to. For the simple fact is because they're going to cover their ass. They're going to, like they don't care if he wants to grab women pussy, because in his mind, he feels like I could shoot somebody in Fifth Avenue. I could grab women pussy, and they're gonna give me money. You know, his supporters, they gave him money, and he's getting money. So this is a whole power thing for him. Now, he's already destroyed. He's already made plans to destroy the environment by EPA. Um, some of the actions that he wants to do. Oh, and he was talking about he was going to help like the miners and the steel mills and all that. He's going to be getting steel to build the big wall for. This is his big plan anyway. So Russia's going to be the one that's going to be supplying the steel. It's not going to be supplied by Americans. Just like his clothing line, like his tie line is China. If he's all that rich and he's all that, he could open up a factory right here in the United States and make those ties, and a lot better. Um, so basically, Putin's plan using Trump and his cronies is to totally destroy America. And you can look and it's like it's like Trump was talking about the attack that he did a like a week into his administration. Um, he said, "Oh, it was something that Obama was going to do." That you know, what I'm saying instead of saying, "Oh, we found this stuff," he left some shit in the desk, and the shit that he left in the desk was like the shit you would leave for the kid that copies your homework. Like if you're gonna copy my shit, you know, and not do your homework, I'm not gonna give you the right information, you know. So like, instead of like him going to the briefing and all that and getting all that information, headed to him and what he needs to do to make himself look really presidential and look smart, he didn't do that. Why didn't he do that? Probably because it's probably why he went off on the CIA a little bit when that first speech, because it wasn't a speech anything to uplift the CIA and have them wanting to work behind them. The same thing when he went to the naval thing. He's not encouraging these people to rally behind him, and he wants, doesn't matter how much money you throw at the people way above the foot soldiers, because that money doesn't trickle down. You know, uh, that's why you have billionaires, because the money doesn't trickle down. But anyway, so and we can look at Oklahoma. Oklahoma had tornadoes, but they didn't have a problem with earthquakes. Now, since they've been fracking, they have like 700 earthquakes last year, and I think they're way overdue now for like a big one. And it Oklahoma is just starting to look like a tar pit. Uh, cesspool. And and it's not the Oklahoma City where like, oh, we got crime and everything. It's out in the rural areas. It's out um with um that Oklahoma was a terrible thing. How they just cleared the all and just murdered all the Indians, murdered all the buffalo, murdered all the livestock. I mean, we don't even realize today that the reason why we can't have a feral dog or something like that is because there's nothing for them to eat. You can't have wildlife anymore because we have destroyed our wildlife. And that's the way that Trump's administration is going, to more destructive, more destroying, and causing more suffering and pain and hurt uh, on our society. Um, and a lot of that, as rich as these people are, and the possibilities that they have to make money, they intentionally make decisions to cause pain, to cause suffering, because you don't have to do that to make money. Because we have examples in the past, of both things where there's such tyrants, and so yeah, the higher you up, the people that are low down, or like, well, I don't mean low down, but or lower on the totem pole, they don't really fraternize, So there's always uh, going to be more suffering on the ones that have to do the most work for the least amount of money, you know. And like, I don't know, with Trump, the way that him and Pence and all them act, they have no respect. And you know so they're depending on people in restaurants and other places to make their food. So I'm sure they don't make their own food. Even if they did have food at home, they'll have a shelf or something. So they're depending on these other people to make their food. They're depending on other people, like to clean up their place up, to clean their house, to mow the grass, to keep their gold looking shiny and stuff like that. Well, these are the people that are around them every day that they're not paying attention to, that they're going to be doing the most harm to, with the health care, with getting rid of Social Security, uh, and food stamps, and all these other benefits to subsidize these people lives so they can work for minimum wage or maybe a little bit better for people like Trump. And those are the ones that they're going to be around Trump, and it's going to be in and out of his his apartments, his hotels, his golf course, and those are the ones that are going to have access to him. So I think that the vice president and the president and and all his little Humpty Dumpty people surrounding him uh, might get pushed off that wall, and all the key men eh, won't be able to put them back together again because uh, um uh, um and because of them being such hypocrites. And we could already see in the first couple of months that uh, his policies that he's been trying to put onto America is the policies like with the bathroom things, like getting like telling people like you got to go buy your birth certificate to use the bathroom. I hope to God they don't make a policy where you got to show your fucking birth certificate to go take a shit. But anyway, that's the next step, right? So and we see the discrimination there, right? But people had actually went in the streets and protest to have the right to use like whatever bathroom they want, right? So the things that he's like, oh well, this is what the American people want, is not what the American people wanted. It is what we had protests to get, and people had wanted better medical care because of some of the ways the insurance company was just totally ripping people off. So you know, uh, 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 um, so their idea of fixing Medicare is to cause more problems, more suffering, and more pain. You know, and that's going to be their downfall. And as long as they have their head up Trump's ass, not Trump's ass, Putin's ass, the Philippines, that's what they are. Maybe they all have each heads up each other's ass, and is blinded by all the money that they get, and now they think they have the power or whatever. That's going to be their downfall because they're lying. Uh, uh, their criminal activities with because Trump's his family was nothing but a bunch of hoes and prostitutes that with a burlesque place, not a burlesque but where you have prostitutes. That's how his father made money. His grandfather made money before they went into real estate. He's pimping his sisters, and I'm sure Trump had to suck probably a lot of dicks too, probably at a very young age, probably at around 7, where he stopped growing mentally, because we could all tell that he has a problem. And if you study anything about human behavior, we know what causes it now, don't we?